the royal heir who went mad and burned the palace down in the grand palaces of history. Power and madness have often walked hand in hand. Today, we delve into one of the most shocking tales of royal destruction, a story where inherited privilege met mental collapse, and an entire dynasty paid the ultimate price. Our story begins in the opulent kingdom of Valdoria in the late 18th century. Prince Maximilian was born into unimaginable wealth and power, the sole heir to a throne that had ruled for over 3 centuries. From his earliest days, courtiers whispered that he was different. While other royal children played with toy soldiers, young Maximilian would spend hours alone, talking to invisible companions, and building elaborate structures only to destroy them moments later. The first signs of his troubled mind appeared when he turned 16. During his coming-of-age ceremony, witnessed by thousands of nobles and dignitaries, Prince Maximilian suddenly began laughing uncontrollably in the middle of the sacred ritual. He claimed he could hear the voices of his ancestors mocking him from their portraits hanging in the Great Hall. The royal physicians dismissed it as adolescent nervousness, but those closest to the prince knew something far more sinister was brewing. As Maximilian matured into his 20s, his behavior became increasingly erratic. He would disappear for days, only to be found in the palace dungeons, claiming he was searching for the real kingdom that existed beneath the one everyone else could see. He began to distrust his food, convinced that his own mother, Queen Isabella, was slowly poisoning him to claim power for herself. Servants reported finding him in his chambers at all hours, furiously writing letters to foreign monarchs, declaring war on countries that didn't exist. The breaking point came on a cold winter night in 1789. Prince Maximilian, now 28 and officially the crown prince, had barricaded himself in the east wing of the palace for 3 days. Guards could hear him inside, alternately sobbing and screaming at unseen enemies. When they finally broke down the door, they found a scene that would haunt them forever. The prince had covered every surface of his room with strange symbols and writings, carved deep into the ancient wooden walls with his own fingernails. His hands were bloodied, his eyes wild with a madness that seemed to burn like fire itself. In the center of the room, he had built a small altar from furniture and books, and upon it sat a single candle flame. "They're coming for me," he whispered to the guards who found him, the shadows in the walls. "They want to take the crown, but I won't let them. I'll burn it all before I let them have it." The guards tried to calm him, but Prince Maximilian pushed past them, still clutching that single candle. What happened next would change the course of history forever. Racing through the corridors of the palace, the mad prince began setting fire to everything in his path. The ancient tapestries, priceless works of art, centuries-old furniture, all of it became fuel for his growing inferno. The palace, built primarily of wood and furnished with materials that had dried for hundreds of years, caught fire with terrifying speed. As the flames spread, panic consumed the royal household. Queen Isabella, awakened by the smoke, rushed through burning corridors to find her son. She discovered him in the throne room, dancing around the royal seat as flames licked at its golden edges. The crown jewels lay scattered on the floor around him, reflecting the orange glow of destruction. "My son," she pleaded, "what have you done?" Prince Maximilian turned to her with eyes that no longer held any recognition. "Mother," he said calmly, "I have set us free. No more whispers, no more shadows. The kingdom will die with dignity rather than rot from within." The fire spread with supernatural speed, as if the very stones of the palace had been waiting centuries for this moment of liberation. Within hours, the entire eastern wing was consumed. The royal library, containing irreplaceable manuscripts and historical documents dating back to the kingdom's founding, was reduced to ash. Priceless artworks commissioned by generations of monarchs melted and crumbled in the intense heat. But the true horror was yet to come. As palace staff and nobles fled into the night, Prince Maximilian made one final, devastating choice. He sealed himself inside the burning throne room, using heavy furniture to barricade the doors from within. Witnesses who escaped later claimed they could hear him singing old lullabies his nurse had taught him as a child as the flames closed in around him. The fire raged for 3 full days. When it finally died down, nearly 2/3 of the palace lay in ruins. The cost in historical artifacts, architectural heritage, and human lives was incalculable. 17 people perished in the blaze, including Prince Maximilian himself, whose body was found seated on the charred remains of the throne, a peaceful expression finally replacing the madness that had consumed his final years. The kingdom of Valdoria never recovered from that night. Queen Isabella, devastated by the loss of both her son and her ancestral home, abdicated the throne within a month. With no direct heir and the royal treasury depleted by the disaster, the monarchy collapsed. The remaining nobles scattered to neighboring kingdoms, and Valdoria was eventually absorbed into the Austrian Empire. Modern historians have debated the true cause of Prince Maximilian's madness. Some point to possible schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, conditions that were completely misunderstood in the 18th century. Others suggest the intense pressure of royal life, combined with isolation and the weight of expectation, created a perfect storm for mental collapse. There are even theories that he suffered from lead poisoning, common among royalty who ate from pewter plates and drank from lead crystal. What we do know is that the ruins of the Valdorian palace still stand today, a haunting reminder of how quickly power and glory can turn to ash. Tourists who visit the site report strange sensations, sudden temperature drops, the smell of smoke on windless days, and some claim to hear faint singing echoing through the burned-out halls. The story of Prince Maximilian serves as a chilling reminder that madness recognizes no crown, and that sometimes the greatest threat to a kingdom comes not from external enemies, but from the darkness that can consume those who are meant to protect it. In the end, the royal heir who had everything chose to destroy it all rather than face the demons that lived within his own mind. The flames that consumed the palace that winter night didn't just destroy buildings and treasures. They marked the end of an era, proving that even the mightiest dynasties are only as strong as the sanity of those who rule them.